I've never been as happy as right now, but shit, I gotta cope with the fact that it dies down. Cause in the end, I just wake up salty, start my day with a pot of black coffee.
Well, looks like I really am committing to the bit and doing a full month of Yuri. It wasn't just a one-off of me talking about lesbian vampire manga. If only I had a co-host to do the next few reviews. I said...
Alright, I heard you. I can do more videos before the return to Final Fantasy Fall or your dub reviews. You are working on those, right?
Yeah, I definitely sent you the updated scripts.
This is a One Piece deck list. So that One Piece project you canceled.
Enough of that. Time to make a new review. And it's a manga you were actually excited to cover, Love Bullet. Despite coming out in 2023, it actually didn't get released physically in English until Yen Press picked up at the end of 2025. But it also is a monthly release rather than weekly, so it makes sense that there isn't much. But for the sake of accessibility for my English-speaking viewers, we'll only be covering the first English volume's contents.
Cupids! They're real! And they shoot you with bullets! Watch as a teenage girl begins her job as a Cupid and help humans find their one true love.
I guess without further delay, let's talk about Love Bullet. Love Bullet is the story of Koharu Sakurada, a 15-year-old girl who is a Cupid and a mortal matchmaker that resembles an angel tasked to help humans fall in love in order to earn karma. This way they can potentially be reborn and experience love, as Cupids are humans saved by the goddess of love, because they never got to experience love when they were alive. Alongside Koharu, we have Enna, Chiyo, and Kana. While we don't get to see too much of Enna in this volume outside of Chapter 0, this first little arc covers Koharu's first target, her friend when she was still alive, Aki Tamaki, while along the way meeting her mentor as a Cupid, Kana, and a sort of rival for this arc in Chiyo to compete for who is trying to help Aki to get the karma from it. Aside from the story, the artwork for the series is really good. Each character has a very distinct look and personality, albeit they do fall into some typical tropes, like Koharu being the new recruit who's kind of a mess but all around a good soul, while Chiyo and Enna are more rash and logical thinkers respectively, while Kana's kind of a mentor and a bit of a leader to the whole group, so kind of the same dynamics that make series like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles work, where they fill a role but all really want to just do good. Even the fight scene in Chapter 0 and the fight between Kana and Chiyo in Chapter 5 look so good. I can almost feel the movements and think that this would look insane on screen if it were to get an anime adaptation. Hell, if this got an OVA for like Chapter 0, I think the art direction could go hard.
Oh, the art. The art in this series is so cute, especially in the girl's design. Like, all the Cupids have white hair and red eyes, which kind of you can't really tell in like the black and white style, but each one still looks very unique and very recognizable in further chapters. What really made me insane though was how they were able to put hearts in everything. Heart eyes, classic, but the fact that the Cupid's resting wings look like hearts, amazing. The bullets, hearts. The explosions, hearts. The pool of blood that forms around Koharu, also a heart, which, eesh, that's one way to do it. What really got me, though, was one specific panel of Koharu framed with cherry blossoms. I won't go too much into it because we haven't hit the spoilers yet, but gosh, that panel did just take my breath away when I read it. I may have also cried, but you know.
I should mention that before we go any further in this review to talk about the story more, there will be spoilers for this volume, so if you're interested in reading the series from what we've said so far, I'll give you guys a little bit of time to go and read it. The writing for these characters was very heartwarming, especially the connection that Koharu shares with Aki when she gets a chance to talk to her in disguise, since normally Cupids are invisible to humans unless they hide their wings. I'm someone who's not super romantic or even the best at relationships, but this arc definitely hit for me with its theme of being able to move on. I haven't had someone that I love just up and die on me, but I feel a lot of us who've had things just not work out and drift apart from someone can really relate to this, where you just don't click and it falls apart after. Aki still holds on to her feelings for Koharu for the 5 years since her death, holding on as a coping mechanism that, while it does help her at pursuing her dreams of art, it's still not healthy, and through this, Koharu can see that the girl Aki is friends with at university is a good fit since she cares about how Aki feels and doesn't push her to talk about it. And while having feelings for her, she still respects Aki's boundaries, unlike her other classmates. It takes a lot for Koharu to let go since she did have feelings for Aki before the accident, but it shows the strength of her character to move forward and help Aki move forward, to give them both a bit of closure that they'll both be okay.
I 100% agree with Cheebs here. The fact that we get to see Aki 5 years later know how she was right after Koharu's death and how that developed into her passion for art. What a beautiful way to show love and grief. While I read this chapter, the quote by Jamie Anderson came to mind: "Grief is just love with nowhere to go." And while, yes, that quote doesn't always expand what grief truly is, I felt like it was very much captured here in these chapters. Aki loved Koharu while she was alive, and even after she was gone, she held on to that memory of her so tight for the longest time she drowned in it. And she realizes this. She says out loud the reason why she finally went out to see the cherry blossoms was to finally move on. She wants to move on simply because from her distant memory of Koharu, she was still a warrior, and she could see her now, still guilty and stuck in the past. She would worry for her even in death. So, in her words, the most I can do for her now is to cherish her memory and let her know I'll be okay. And man, if that didn't just hit. And gosh, don't get me started on the fact that we get to see Koharu's grief too. The missed opportunities, the fact that she'll never see her friend again, the fact that she just straight up died. We get to see her finally react to that and how heartbreaking that all was.
Love Bullet is a really cute series that also is pulling a bit at my heartstrings. It's such a strange concept, but it's executed really well. The idea of a soul helping out the lives of the living while they aren't fully aware may be a cliche idea if you think of stuff like Men in Black, albeit I guess that's more helping from the shadows, and not the whole being dead thing. The series knows where to throw its punches, and they land good. The entire arc covered in this first volume of Koharu reuniting with Aki and the both of them moving forward really just hit me in the feels. I had to set the book down for a few minutes before I could read the last few pages. I am really excited to keep reading this, and we'll pick up the second English volume when that eventually comes out. I would highly recommend picking up physically, but there are digital options if that's your thing.
Really, when I first read this manga, I did not think it would be a memoir of grief of all sorts. But even if it was unexpected, it was beautifully executed. While there are plenty of comedic moments, especially in the bonus chapter, loved how they all thought Koharu was cute. This manga will pull at your feelings like no one's business. The dialogue flows, the art catches your breath, the characters make you laugh. Honestly, I have nothing bad to say about this first volume.
Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope this new format is working well for people and it's fun to watch. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends, but please do leave feedbacks in the comments so we can make future videos similar to this, but better. We will see you next week with the third entry for Yuri Month.